22-19 victory. And hey, listen, I think the Broncos proved something. They proved that they're the best team in the AFC West to this point.
Interesting.
They are.
Didn't take certain people that long to figure that out.
Took like a few teams to get there too.
And it moved me, Drew, in a way that I really haven't been moved by the Broncos before. You know, it brought me back to the offseason where I kind of saw this coming a little bit, and I wish I would have stayed on the side of really cheering for the Broncos.
Don't let him do it.
He's getting me.
And saying, you know, this was clearly the most talented roster in the AFC West. And I think this year has pretty much shown that the most well-put, constructed rosters are the ones that end up in the position they are. And that's with a ton of wins and at the top of the AFC.
And then you got Drake May just carrying shit.
The Patriots have, very historically, like, easy schedule. But I will say, wins against the Bills and the Buccaneers, I feel like people just overlook that. But the Patriots have done really well. I think Sunday what I saw is a bad Patrick Mahomes. The defensive line actually had less pressures than the Chiefs' defensive line in this game. I thought the difference was really Mahomes looked erratic.
And Bo Nix looked better. Continue.
Bo Nix played well, and I think that the heavy man-to-man coverage game plan that Steve Spagnuolo deployed, especially on the outside boundary receivers, they just won their matchups. I know that in the trade deadline, everybody was vouching for the Broncos to get a better receiver, but I love the way that Pat Bryant was deployed in this game. He really looks like a stud. And Troy Franklin, he's getting open on his releases. It's really just about him being able to catch the ball. Bo Nix had a couple. I thought Bo Nix's best plays of the game were drops. I thought he really played a good game. He was 4 for 7 on throws down the field, and he had a clean pocket 74% of the time. The offensive line did a good job protecting him, and I just felt like he was poised and he played calm. It didn't feel like a game where his mind felt like it was rushed, where you notice it in the footwork and he's kind of erratic. It felt like a really calm, composed game from him, and it was impressive. This was with no run game. The run game was not going at all, and he made some throws down the stretch. The one of the 3rd and 15 of Cortland Sutton, where he rolls out of the pocket and Sutton adjusts to it and finds an opening. And it's really quarterback-friendly play from him. And Bo Nix realizing that window and throwing it on the money and on time. It was an all-around great performance from the Denver Broncos. And I think that they showed yesterday what they've shown all year long is that they are a fourth-quarter team, and you can count on them to make plays when it matters late in games. And that's kind of what they showed. So I thought the performance was good from them. And if they get this level of quarterback play from Bo Nix, it's really hard to say that they're not the best team in the AFC.
No, so well said.
The Patriots have had a very easy schedule. And although Drake May's a superstar, their defense is pretty concerning. The Indianapolis Colts, it's really about Daniel Jones, whether or not I trust him or not. And it's hard for me to say that. So the Broncos, they look like a legit contender right now.
No, please, Dell's go next. Riv, you don't have to speak right now.
I don't think you should let him get away with this, personally.
Riv, there's a reason why I'm letting him go.
Okay.
If you would like to chime in next, I'm more than willing.
I think I'm very calm in this. I think I don't need to say much.
So, Dels, please enlighten us with what you have to say.
Too, brother.
I'm so elated, and I'm
brother.
so thrilled to hear what you have to say right now. Because you weren't moved yesterday.
You
You weren't moved.
By the Broncos or Bo Nix?
You just weren't moved
Well,
yesterday.
no, I think the Broncos and Bo Nix, another touchdown, Ferguson. I think they had a great game. I think this was Bo Nix's best game of the season. What you wanted me to do was like switch up and be like, "Oh, you were wrong about Bo Nix."
That's all you've done.
I told you for a couple weeks now. Like this is how I was standing about Bo Nix.
You're
I think
out.
more often than not, he's going to be underwhelming. But what Joel said is right. It's this team goes as Bo goes because it feels very unlikely that this team loses because of the defense. This team loses because they give up too much pressure. Maybe they lose because of drops. They've had a ton of drops this year. But this team is going to go how Bo Nix goes. If you get this level of play, like you said, Joel, from Bo Nix, they feel like the best team in the AFC because you have the best offensive line. You have one of the best head coaches. You have one of the best defenses. Everything's set up for this team to succeed. It's just how much is Bo Nix going to be able to propel you? And when you look around the rest of the AFC, when it comes to the powerhouses at quarterback, there's all question marks. Josh Allen's defense is terrible. The Ravens are starting to get some things going, but they've been, a 500 team up till this season, up till this point. And the Chiefs are a 500 team who have been losing all of these one-score games. So all of these teams that have the powerhouse quarterbacks don't exactly have the teams as it stands right now that we think to go past Denver, who's just more well-rounded. They were the team coming into this offseason that we all had in top 10 in terms of power rankings. I think we ranged from like 10-5 or something. But it all came down to quarterback. It came down to Bo Nix. And I think for the majority of this season, he's been underwhelming. He's had some great games like the Dallas game, like the Cincinnati game, the fourth quarters against Philadelphia and New York.
The Colts game.
But the Colts game was solid too. But I think for a majority of the season, you left saying, man, if we just got better quarterback play, we'd feel great. And the game you got yesterday is what I think a lot of fans have been wanting from Bo Nix. He looked fantastic. He was confident in the pocket. He wasn't as hesitant as he had been in weeks past. Didn't make really any mistakes. No interception. I think he had 1 or 2 sacks on the game. He was awesome. If you get this level of play of Bo Nix, there's no reason why you can't go to the Super Bowl. Like the rest of the team is that fucking excellent. Like it's not to the level of Philadelphia was last year because offensively they had so many more pieces. But I mean, defensively is there. I like the head coach and the play caller more than Philadelphia did last year. It just really comes down to Bo Nix. And that makes a complicated sport like football simple. But that's what it is for me. Because if you get the Bo Nix like you did against Las Vegas, you're getting bounced the first playoff game.
It was 35-mile-an-hour winds. It was a division rival.
Sure, but it's also like it's
Thursday
Denver.
short week.
It's Denver. Like it's probably gonna be shitty weather in January. You know what I
Probably.
mean? Like I can't just be like it's gonna be 35 degrees and no wind in January. So
I mean,
get
yesterday in Denver, he looked pretty great.
it. No, he did, and maybe I didn't know what the winds were yesterday. Maybe the winds were a
Longer
little bit
week
more
too.
calm. You came off a long week, but the Chiefs were coming off a bye.
A bye week.
Yeah.
So they had even longer to prepare for this matchup.
No, I mean, I think, listen, I said what I said about Bo Nix. I don't think he's the savior. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback, but I don't think he needs to be that for Denver. He doesn't need to be Josh Allen, Lamar, Superman, top 5 quarterback. The team is so good that if he is the 15th best quarterback for the remainder of the season, they should be the number 1 seed and they should be favored going to the playoffs. It's just, how much do you trust it?
Riv?
What do you think about Bo Nix? What did you think about his
Well,
performance?
we know what he thinks about him.
He's terrible. Last week he was terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
Last week he was
This week
terrible.
he was awesome. This week he was awesome. What I think about Denver is not an indictment on what I think about Bo Nix.
Well, no, that's why, because I know how you feel about Denver, so I just want to know how you feel about
I think Denver is awesome. I think they remind me of me. They remind us of us. You know what I'm saying? Dirty, scrappy, tough-nosed defense, great coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Great QBs.
Great QBs.
That's what I'm saying, man. Just got to get that ring, and then you could really, then we could really, you know what I'm saying? But now, all jokes aside, I think Denver has a strong chance. It really, really, like, I get it. It's as simple as that, because what we've seen in the AFC is 9 times out of 10, if you have the best quarterback or one of the best quarterbacks, you know, you get to the AFC Championship game or you get to the Super Bowl. You know, we've seen Josh in it, AFC Championship game, Mahomes constantly in the Super Bowl. We've seen Lamar in the AFC Championship game, Joe Burrow. Like, the AFC is very much about who's that guy throwing that football. And it doesn't come around where you have it's not like the NFC where you have the most stacked teams usually go. It's really about that quarterback. I think with Denver, they're showing a little different vibe. I think the Colts too are showing that too, just on the offensive side, where they may not have the best quarterback, but the situation is we have this with Denver, it's this vaulted defense that can keep us in games long enough to where Bo Nix can make a play here, play there, then we win the game. Now in the playoffs, can you do it 3 straight times? I think that's going to be the question mark. Denver has shown to do it in spurts. You know, he did it in Philly. I forgot he did, I think the week before or the week after Philly. I forgot which week. Yeah, Giants. He just did it against the Chiefs. So can you do it 3 straight weeks or 2 straight weeks in the playoffs? That's going to be the question, because the lights get brighter. Everything starts to, you know, tighten up. But I think this is a big win against the Chiefs, a team that's practically owned you for like a decade. Biggest win of the year for them by far. Like, even bigger than beating us, just because division rival, you know, you kind of put a stranglehold in this division. And to get the number 1 seed, they still have a chance to get a number 1 seed. I don't know if they're going to get it, but they still have a chance to get a number 1 seed. So getting that also would be extremely important, because then you get that bye. You only get 2 games. But Bo Nix played well. He played better than somebody we're not really trying to talk about. I don't know why we're not hearing that, but he played better than the champ. So, you know, shout out to him. Kudos to him. You know, the road to success.
Rick's right, because the Eagles game I think you point to is like one of the best wins. The Giants come from behind, but these games were all like kind of drag your feet for 3 quarters, and the 4th quarter, boom. This was beginning to end. Like, this was beginning to end. Denver was in control of this game. Denver looked like the best team from the 1st quarter to the 4th quarter. It wasn't they were just dog shit for 3 quarters. Then the 4th quarter, they had 2 touchdowns and the interception. All this happened. Like, from beginning to end, Denver looked like the best team. And some of their wins this year, that hadn't been the case.
The initial question was, what did Denver prove to you after this game? To me, it was simple. They proved nothing. They proved nothing to me after yesterday's win. Because all along, what they showed us yesterday was what they've shown us all season long. This defense is one of, if not the best in the National Football League. We are one of, if not the best coached units in all of football. When you need big plays, the offense comes through time and time again. And in the biggest moments, Bo Nix is going to show up. Now, you guys mentioned it's all on Bo Nix, even though you guys are well aware that the receivers have, to some extent, not lived up to their part of the deal. As yes, he is number 2 in sacks, in drops on the season. But because the Broncos aren't the sexy team, because the Broncos don't have the darling quarterback, the savior, like some say that Drake May isn't, fair. Drake May, I think, is in a tier of his own. The way that he's been playing football this season, it's him, it's Matthew Stafford. Those two have been doing excellent things. And given what Drake May has around him supporting cast-wise, I give nothing but flowers to Drake. Not a bad thing to say about him. But because the Broncos don't have the sexy quarterback, because that is taking him a little bit longer to do things comfortably or to look a certain way, because a quarterback has to look a certain way, we don't like the Broncos. There's just other teams that we favor a little bit more. But in big moments, in every single gotta-have-it situation, Bo Nix rises to that occasion. I told you it was a get-right week for the offense. Going up against the Chiefs, you knew that the run game was going to be poor. Chiefs' specialty has always been rush defense. So it was always going to be on Bo Nix.
And no JK.
Pat Bryant, we watched his breakout this past weekend. He was excellent in this game. The way that he's able to get open in that intermediate, we've been begging for an intermediate guy. He could be that guy for us. Troy Franklin, we've understood, has the talent. It's just a matter of if his hands are going to work. And that seems to be a volatile thing from week to week. But Bo Nix's trust in Troy Franklin has never wavered. And the fact on second down, and a gotta-have-it drive to put us into field goal range, he trusts Troy enough to put the ball perfect, beautiful perfect ball, to go ahead and put us into field goal range. But before that, 3rd and 15, a situation where more often than not, a good quarterback's not going to get you a first down, right, Dels? And 3rd and 15 situations, game of the line against the team that just went to the Super Bowl, the team that's gone to the Super Bowl for the past 3 years that's represented the AFC, good quarterbacks don't convert those.
Great quarterbacks do. Awesome quarterbacks too.
But quarterbacks that have it do.
A Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Some quarterbacks don't have it. We watched some of those quarterbacks yesterday that just simply don't have it.
Last week too.
But with wins against the Eagles.
Monday night too.
Wins against the best defense in the league in the Texans. Wins against the reigning AFC champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. There's nothing that they proved to me because they've shown it all season long. It's just a matter of if you decided to understand and accept that or ignore it.
So if
you guys want to continue to ignore it, that's fine. But if yesterday was an awakening to you guys, welcome. Because everything you guys are saying right now, I felt and I know. Broncos are contenders. They are right now the most talented team in the AFC. We can be the number 1 seed. But I'm glad that it's finally hitting you guys. It's awesome. It really makes me warm inside because the Broncos are here. It's simple.
Super Bowl?
There's no reason why we can't.
Talk.
No reason why we can't.
Jesus. What the fuck are you doing?
Great defense by George Pickens.
The AFC is so wide open that I think that the Broncos could have this record and still get bounced in the first round of the playoffs.
I mean, it would be the 1 seed, so it would be the 2nd.
Well, the Patriots have just as good of a chance to be the 1 seed, and they have an easier schedule moving forward. The Patriots have the same record as you guys, and their schedule is beyond light. Like so,
historically,
it's between the Broncos, the Patriots, and you can't rule out the Colts being number 1 seed either. They also have the tiebreaker over the Broncos as well. So it's between one of those 3 teams, but that's not even a knock to the Broncos. I can see the Patriots, I can see the Colts all losing in the first round if they're in the first round. It's just the way the AFC is shaping out right now. If you have Josh Allen as a first round matchup opponent, it's not like in years past where in the first round, you get
Play
the
the Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't fear the Bills.
Well, you don't. I'm not saying you have to fear the
Shouldn't
Bills.
fear anybody.
The Bills' defense is one of the worst in the league.
Yes, and the Bills' defense was very vulnerable last year, but that offense is so good that it's going to keep them in games.
We watched the Broncos defense, and I apologize to cut you off. We watched the Broncos defense go up against one of the best offenses in Kansas City, and we shut them down. We made Mahomes look the worst he's looked.
I thought
Is the
Mahomes just played
Broncos
bad.
offense just fine and it's back and it's going to be perfect.
I have no worries against a terrible defense like the Bills.
Against the Giants,
Raiders
you
are
guys did
terrible.
nothing for like 50
Well,
minutes.
the Bills
and same
defense
against
kinda locked up the
Raiders.
Chiefs.
But against a bad defense in Cincinnati, we lit them up. And a bad defense
For
against
sure.
Dallas, we lit
No,
them up.
My point
But
is,
that's kind of a
And
different
it's
tier
a
of
big
bad.
game. Bo Nix rises to the occasion. Last year, we lost to the Bills. He had 5 drops in that game.
He also wasn't good too.
yeah, I mean,
You
guys
want to
smoked.
say that
wasn't-
again? And I'll never understand it. Nevertheless,
I mean, when you lose like what 42 to
Yeah, you
7,
guys smoked.
It
It
was
I
wasn't.
mean,
bad.
it means
It was
everybody
bad.
played bad offensively. It wasn't just one guy.
I mean, we had 5 drops.
Yeah, you guys had drops, but he also
lost by,
just
like, 30.
didn't play
No,
bad.
exactly.
He also played
We got-
bad.
But our defense was not as good last year as it is this year.
No, but my point is, I don't know if I learned anything from Denver because I can't just say the offense is going to be fine. If for the rest of the season the offense looks like it did today, I think it's a different
But
conversation.
give me a defense in the AFC that is in the playoff picture that I should be worried about.
All of them.
What defense? I should be worried about the Bills' defense?
Yeah, because you didn't show up for the Raiders and the Giants.
The Raiders are a division game on Thursday Night Football short
What
week.
about the Giants?
And the Giants, we put up almost 40 points.
What about the
Shut up for
Titans?
55 minutes. The
And
Titans.
we put up 40 points.
It's just like
We
I
got
don't know,
shut out
man.
and ended with 40 points. Say it out loud.
Okay, is that repeatable? Say it out loud.
We did it again to the Chiefs when we put up 22. We just couldn't convert in the red zone. Against the Eagles, we did it all in the fourth quarter. This is the best team in the league in your eyes.
I just don't think. If
And I
you
gotta have a
score
situation
0
against
points for
the
55 minutes,
actual
you're going to
best-
win many games.
Against the Texans, got to have a drive. Did we not get it?
Yes, you did.
Oh, so the best defense that's not going to be in the playoffs, I don't have to worry about anymore, right?
I just don't think this offense has fixed any problems. I just think you had a good game.
Well, I do think that the Broncos have bought themselves some leeway with this performance.
It definitely bought them. Yeah, it bought them some leeway, sure. But like, if they go up first round against the Bills and they have 7 points through 3 quarters, I'm not going to be surprised.
If Pat Bryant's going to be an integral part of this offense, if Troy Franklin holds on to the ball, we're not going to play Kansas City's rush defense every single week.
No.
RJ Harvey's is going to get more involved and get better, more comfortable as the lead back.
He should.
And Cortland Sutton, now that there's going to be more guys that's drawing attention, now he's going to have a little bit more separation as well. What you're putting it all on Bo Nix.
I'll put it on the
When it's-
offense. It's not just on Bo, it's on everybody. Because I just haven't seen enough from this offense this year that makes me think whoever they play, they're going to be fine.
I did see an RJ Harvey trick play that almost ended in interception.
Sean Payton sometimes, he just is playing like I feel like it's the monkey symbol. Like, can we relax?
Harvey shouldn't have thrown that out. I think
Yeah,
he
it was
so
a terrible.
He said, it, I think it was either him or Bo said it, that it was a lot more open in practice. At least they joked about it. But I'm watching. I'm just like, why? Like, we're ruining a great opening drive with this nonsense.
Sean Payton gets leeway because like he
He's
calls
Sean
a great
Payton.
game.
He's Sean Payton.
overall. But I also against the Chiefs, you guys were in a lot of third down situations, and those things tend to be more volatile than anything.
Easily.
You know, especially Denver hasn't been the best at converting third downs. Against Kansas City, they did. They won their one-on-one matchups on the outside, and they made some tremendous plays. So I think the Broncos with this performance, they bought themselves some leeway. I think Bo Nix has bought himself some leeway where he has won big games. You just basically won the game that clinched you the division, so he has some leeway.
God willing.
So this isn't an indictment on the Broncos.